All right, guys, the next 5 fights on Path 2, we're going to swap out Onslaught here for America Chavez, and we're going to absolutely decimate Doctor Strange here. The only thing that he's got going is that when he has the armor up, your damage is going to go back. There's Prey on the Weak. He's got inverted controls on his specials. He's not going to throw a single special with America Chavez. We are just going to do a full heavy, get that negative zone up, and then continue to just pound him with heavy attacks. You can get him in the corner here and you could probably just infinitely spam heavy attacks here. And I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to cancel into a special 2, get some nice damage in. And I'm sorry again, I did speed up these fights here just so I can get a bunch of them together for each part of the Crucible path. I do not have time to stream everything, so we're getting these down into shorter, digestible pieces. We've already got the full path 1 up, and we're working our way through path 2. And there we go. We do take a little bit of damage when we hit him when he has the armor up, but other than that, there's really nothing to worry about. We can actually cancel after the special 2 and get some healing back if we want to, but super easy fight with America Chavez. Next up is Symbiote Supreme, and we're just going to bypass all of his nullify and stagger and all that fun stuff with a buff immune champion. We're going to go in with Titania, and then really it's just a Sim Supreme. There's ebb and flow knockdown, so you want to throw heavies. Other than that, there's really nothing else. If you bring a buff immune champion, like I think I did, my original Act 7 playlist has one with Guardian, like a 5-star Guardian doing this fight, just because a buff immune champion works extremely well here. So I'm going to let the music play out for this one, because it did take a little bit of time, but really easy fight with Titania. It is only a rank 4 6-star and did a excellent job. I'll let the music play out, and I'll see you at the next fight. All right, next up is Sorcerer Supreme. And when I did this initially, I used Doc Ock in a very specific way. I brought in Doc Ock to try and replicate that. It did not go exactly as planned, but that doesn't matter. Doc Ock is still going to get through this fight. Just took a little bit longer than I thought. There's Spite, Steady, Backup, Unblockable, Staggering Beauty. If you're too close to Sorcerer Supreme, you're going to get a Stagger. Plus, she can put debuffs on you with her special 1, which makes her unblockable. Ideally, the goal is just to parry heavy the entire time. Keep the power lock on the entire fight. and then she can't throw a single special, but instead I get clipped, I don't get my parry, and that pretty much ruins the whole fight. I could have quit out and, you know, tried to get the reset on this one instead. I've been able to evade her unblockable special one pretty well in recent times, so I figured let's try this out, see if we can get through this one. And I actually end up getting willpower from the staggers and the slow and everything, and the armor break that she puts on me. And even though she has she's unblockable for a bunch of the time, I do remember that I can actually counter that special one at some point. You evade, it's even though she throws like 3 projectiles, you only evade the first one and like the third one. So I'll just do, you can see here, 1 evade, 2 evades, and that's it. And then technically you can dash in, I think, afterwards. So I think I did that later, but I'm just keeping tabs on when all my debuffs disappear off of me, then she's not unblockable anymore. So if you back away and let the debuffs expire, then you can go back into, you know, parrying here, which is what I end up trying to do here. But she gets to a special and I'm kind of stuck, and I just use kind of everything in my power to try and stay alive in this fight. You can see now I've got a bunch of debuffs on me, and she's gaining power, so I'm trying to back away to let them drop off, so then immediately after they drop off I can go for a parry and a special. So it ends up working out. I end up getting, like I said, a bunch of willpower healing. I am eventually able to get enough damage in to take her out. But you can see, even though I got hit a couple times, I've healed up back to a full yellow bar, and we're actually able to take this one out pretty nicely. I'm sure there are a bunch of different counters here. Probably champs like Titania and stuff if you want to go without dealing with that, or you want to deal with someone who's, I guess, not, maybe an armor break immune champion might help you out here. But lots of different options here, because then if you're immune to slow or armor break or nullify immune, like you're immune to staggers, then you won't be able to get 3 debuffs on you, and if you don't get 3 debuffs on you, then she won't be unblockable, and obviously after that it's much easier. So I did get clipped there in the face, but not the end of the world, and I think we end up healing right back up with willpower back to 100%. So hopefully you enjoyed this fight here. If you want to see a better version of it, you can check out my playlist on my channel. I've got a playlist of all the Act 7 boss fights, and you can see different options from when they originally came out than what I necessarily used in this run. Next up, I think I used Magneto for Warlock, because I used Magneto a ton for #MetalChampions on my initial run, but here we are going to go with Deathless King Groot, because he's immune to the power burn from Warlock, and so I can still get my specials here. The issue on this one is bubble shield, so be careful to try and trigger the bubble shield in order to, make sure you trigger the bubble shield before like a special one, because the special one can be annoying to evade. This is the first mistake I've made on path 2 so far. My planning's been great. This one, my problem was that once you use a special, there is a yellow timer, and you cannot use another special until that timer expires. Okay, right there's that yellow timer now it's on the bottom left again. When that expires, then I can throw another special. Until then, I can't. There's also ebb and flow heavy, so I'm trying to parry and get some heavies in. Also watching, right now, keeping tabs of the bubble shield. Okay, now I think at one point in the fight, forget the fact that I just got clipped there, I'm going to accidentally throw a special too soon. And because I threw it too soon, I take a whole bunch of degen, which is quite annoying. And then just between, it actually takes quite a bit of health off of me. And then I miss a couple parries, and that becomes the end of it here with Deathless King Groot. Big special too. But make sure, again, ebb and flow knockdowns, or ebb and flow heavy, I think this is. So I got to make sure that I'm knocking him down, which again, I'm trying to get some parries. Right now I triggered there. I got the 10th hit on my bubble shield, then quickly let him dash in to trigger the unblockable, and then I'm free to go ahead and attack in again. So I am thinking about a bunch of things there. Again, there I trigger the unblockable as the 20th hit. After the 20th hit, the next one's unblockable. So that's the type of stuff I was thinking about the entire time. And then, like I said, I'm going to end up throwing a special. So I was doing pretty good. This was working out just fine. Even though I got hit a couple times, it was working out great. Nice big special 2 there. But right now, I think this is similar. I think this is the point where I end up throwing a special right there, completely unnecessary. And look at the amount of degen I take. I'm all the way down to like 25%. And then I couldn't buy a parry for the life of me. Sometimes I got them. Sometimes in this one, for whatever reason, maybe it's just because it's Deathless King Groot. I don't play a lot, so I misjudged the timing on it. But this is the first revive I had to use on this path, which is fine. I think I used 6 total on path 1, and so that's not a problem, not the end of the world. And we get a knight, we finish him off, no problem. So I'll let the music play out, and we'll see you at the next fight. All right, last fight for this section is going to be Elsa. You want someone who has access to prowess, makes the fight a lot easier. Also, someone like Bishop, who can it works if you try to stun and they purify it, you'll get a passive stun instead because she does have tenacity on here. The other item is there is every 15 seconds she's going to get an unstoppable. That unstoppable is going to last less and less depending on how many prowess you have when that unstoppable expires. So I try to stay away from Elsa when it expires just in case she is unstoppable. And when you knock her down, you're going to give her an evade charge. And the problem with the evade charge, and you're going to see that pretty early, is that if you try to hit in, even after like a parry, with that evade charge, she's going to give you her auto evade, potentially. And then, so that happens to me at some point right there. I get her auto evade, and I'm just going to stick with hitting after parries the rest of the way just to play it safe. I'm not worried. Once I get my opening, no problem. But once I knock her down and she has that evade, I'm just going to wait it out. No problem. Bait that special, wait out the evade timer, and then attack in normally. Grab some parries in order to build up some prowess, so that unstoppable timer doesn't last very long. So once I got into a good groove with that, it was a pretty easy fight with Bishop here. But yeah, it was pretty nice fight, and I'm sure there's a bunch of different options. Probably some storms would probably work pretty well. But again, someone who can deal potentially slow to Elsa. But again, the slow, she'll probably shrug it off. So there's not, as long as you have prowess champion is definitely the way to go. But yeah, we'll let the music play out for this one. And that's it for this section of 5 fights. We'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye-bye.